Well, hello and welcome to Lister LD1 Restoration Part 11. Yep, we are moving many parts through this series now, but we are at the last leg. The paint is going on. What you see here is the actual colour it's going to be. This is it. This is not mid Brunswick, deep Brunswick green this is. Now, I chose deep Brunswick because mid Brunswick is far too late for this engine. And as you see the CS over there, well, you've seen the CS in previous videos, and what this engine used to be, it used to be a very dark green. Now I had the CS quickly, and I just found a bit of green paint, we are going to repaint it, so I scratched it slightly and put some T-cut over some areas on it. And it came up roughly this colour. So what I am assuming is, Lister engines came out of the factory this colour, and over the years, instead of fading and got lighter, they got darker. The paint got darker, and you see as your paint dries as well, it got darker. Right when you put second coat on, all that sort of stuff. So we assume it's got darker over the years. Mind you, 60 years of time made it so you won't notice it really. Hopefully, this engine will be around for another 60 years. This engine is 60-year-old. So as you can see, this is the colour. There's only 2 bits left to paint. That is the fuel tank and the air cowling. And being that an early engine, this cowling is aluminium, and I had a few broken studs in it from previous owners, so I've had to drill those out and tap them. They've all been tapped now M5. So we've got the cowling over here. Ready to go. There you go. All tapped out. M5 bolts in that. So what I'm going to do with that one is, being aluminium, you can't use red oxide. Went down after school, down Max Salvers, £9 a can, etch primer. So I'm going to put a couple coats of etch primer on it, and then we'll go with the top coat. So hopefully that should look after the cowling. Also, this whole little tin here, red oxide, that's pretty much gone. So you see the air filter is a nice lovely, you haven't seen it? It's black, looking absolutely beautiful. The 4 wheels, you can probably see in the shot there. One there and one over here. There's 4 wheels all done up in black. And if any of you are wondering, the paint we are using, 1 litre, Craftmasters paint, engine enamel, deep Brunswick green. This was £28 for a can, free postage. We picked up 2 cans, one for this engine, one for the CS. So hopefully we should have plenty left actually, because I barely touched anything from that. So we did that, and I'll mark that Lister LD, and that will stay with this LD engine. Okay, so I think first job really is, well, I'm going to put boiler suit on. I'm going to spray cowling and etch primer, I think, and I'm going to paint some of the bits on this engine. That's what we're going to do. So first job is first, we're going to spray the cowling etch primer. So we'll do that quickly. Well, there we go. He's had 1 coat of etch primer, and I've never used this stuff before. Well, I tell a lie actually, I've used it on the rest of the engine, on the aluminium, but it don't look too bad, as you can see. I thought it'd be more grey than what it is, but here's what it is. Now the idea of etch primer is, because red oxide is meant to stick to metal naturally through, I don't know how, we're meant to stop it from rusting. Etch primer eats into the metal, slightly acidic, so it eats into the aluminium, brass, copper, etc. to provide a good surface then for me to put my paint on. So I should probably give it a couple coats of this, and we'll go from there. But we'll leave that dry now. I don't know what the time says it takes to dry. 10 to 25 minutes, and it's fairly warm in here, so I'm going to leave it 10-15 minutes. So I'm going to do a bit of painting on the engine. And once that's done, I'll probably give her a recoat. But it doesn't look too bad, I think it's quite nice. But we'll see how things go later on. Okay. Hello. back again. As you can see, what we got here is the aluminium cowling. Well, you wouldn't say it's aluminium looking at it now, but that's now had 3 coats of etched primer. I put on first 2 coats within half an hour of each other because it said drying time 15 minutes, so I made sure it's extra dry. And I put another coat on thing, and then I've gone home, had tea. So an hour later, hour or two later, I've just put on the 3rd coat. What I've done was hang it on the garage door outside because it's still fairly warm outside. Sprayed it out there, shut the garage door, brought it in here to keep the heat in, keep it warm in here for me to paint the rest of the engine. You see, it's looking good. I did try and spray as much as I could in there, just so I could make it look nice. Also around here, it's just all looking good because I know people might not bother, but it's like it's just easy spraying, and best I could up there. You can't see it done all the way up there, but it's best I could with a spray gun. That's just protect it roughly. I won't be able to paint all this, but I'll probably try and paint bits in here and sort of stuff. Also, I will paint this bit in here because when the engine's running, the cowling flow fan's got holes in it, and you'll see the green behind that fan in the dots. If you leave that etch point, I think it wouldn't bother. So we'll make sure this is a good engine. So that's all done. So it's all done really. Nice sharp and early engine. Paint it up. Over here we got all the bits and pieces. These have all gone like dry now, but they'll harden off now, but they're dry. Everything here's had 2 coats of paint, bar this and this, on that other tank thing up here. So I got the air filter here's had 3 coats, and so is the air filter base. Where have I put that to? It's somewhere here, floating around anyway. Don't know where I put it, but it's here floating around. But that's had 3 coats as well. You might see it, I can't. Of black, and here we have the flywheel. I got to do the other side of the flywheel, and that would have been its second coat. Yeah, so the other side of the flywheel's got to have its 2nd coat. Cylinders had 2 coats, and it's looking beautiful. All looking nice. Can't wait to put this engine together. This here's had 2 coats. That's only had 1 coat on that side, so I've got to do that. There's a bit of tin work there. I think this cowling's the same story. Yeah, that's only had 1 coat, I think. Yeah, that's had 1 coat, and that there's had no coats, as you can see. But we'll paint that side, and we'll do that side as well. Hopefully, give a coat another coat, couple coats, whatever. Just do that, and hopefully, should be able to bolt it together soon. I got piston rings on order, so they should come soon, I hope. So we've got to get those. They cost £26.50 or something. Something cheap. That's 5 rings. If I pick up the piston quickly, you might be able to. Oh, if I just pop you down here and look at the engine quickly. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to put them in the comments. I will try and get back to you as soon as I can about the restoration. I don't know a lot about diesel engines. I am learning myself still. But that is the point of this hobby. Here we go. There's a piston. Cleaned it up ages ago. Here we have ring grooves. Thick one. 2 thin compression rings. Oil scraper. Oil scraper. So I've got new rings on order, so we'll do that. Also, next job is going to paint the other side of the flywheel, give everything that hasn't on a 2nd coat of paint, and also I'm going to do this bit in here which needs doing, but I got small brushes to do it. So I'll do that quickly. Okay. Okay, I'd like to say that's what I've done for this evening. Doesn't look like a lot. Here we go, we painted. Here we have everything's had 2 coats of paint over here. Go along a bit more. Okay, a bit more. The only things that haven't had 2 coats of paint are the 2 tank straps here behind the flywheel. They're still on their 1st coat of paint, but the only problem is I can't find any wire for the life of me to be able to hang them up. So I've only got 2 pieces of wire. So those 2 pieces of wire to like alternate. So tomorrow, when everything's out the 3rd coat, they'll only have the 2nd coat. Bit of a bummer, but it's what's got to be done. Block, you can see here it's had 2 coats. And if we go around, I'll just take off the thing quickly. Tripod. All cut in nicely around there. Just got to clean off the red oxide, but that's no biggie. We'll do that when we get time. Cowling. First coat of deep Brunswick green. As you can see, not touching, hopefully. So you can see, because it's like come through a bit, but you expect that with a light primer underneath. So we're going to do the 2nd coat tomorrow. Well, flip it over, do the 2nd coat, and 1st coat again, leave it dry off, and by the end of the evening, so the first thing I do is this side, flip it over, so that's all had 1 coat, and by the end of the evening that will dry off enough for me to flip it back over and give this side a 2nd coat. That's the plan. Over here, wheels have got to have another coat. Don't really like doing the wheels, but they've got to be done. What else have we got to do? Starting handle I got to sort out, because if we look at it quickly, painted it up a nice lovely black, another coat of black. There's no grip on it. I got to drill and tap that to maybe M4, maybe see what size I can get in there. Drill it, tap it, M4, put a nut, a washer, put the grip on, because the grip is a bit of a bummer really, because it doesn't quite reach. It's too long. That is the thing. If I can find it quickly, probably here somewhere floating around. There it is here, got you. There's the grip. Brand new grip, station engine parts. Slide it on. Yeah. So I'm going to drill it, tap it, put a washer on it. So when I do it up tight, it will be loose because it's just enough. So if I put a washer on it, it will be fine. So nut, bolt, maybe a bit of Loctite. Hold it on there. Grease the shaft when I put the spindle on. Now hopefully I'll give that a coat of yacht varnish to keep it good so it won't get oily. And that should be okay. That's the plan. There's the yacht varnish down there. Also, exhaust pipe, what do people think about this? I've seen LDs, I'm going to have the narrow silencer. Let's pop me back on the tripod I think, instead of me wobbling around like an idiot. Actually, whilst we're on the subject of exhaust pipes, here we go. Got your manifold and the silencer I'm using, temporary one. Here's a manifold. And that's what I'm thinking is, I've got, originally this already had a short piece of pipe, maybe 4 inches long, and it listed a narrow silencer on it. I want a deep silencer on it, and I'm thinking, I got this floating around. 1-inch BSP steel elbow. Strip the paint off it. Put it in there. If I can, quickly. Be sure we've done it tight enough. Have it up like that, so you got the air filter and up in the air. And my question is, what would people think of that silencer arrangement with a bit more of it like I don't know, a piece of 3-4 inch pipe put on the top, and the deep silencer on it? What would people think about that? Something a bit different. I thought it would look nice, and plus you'd chuck the oil up that way. Or if it being a diesel on light load, would it sit up the cylinder because the oil's not getting out the engine? You know what I mean? Because I've seen a diesel engine on a rally, it's just running. Well, actually, Lister LD1. I think it's a 900 RPM model, and that's running. That's chucking loads of oil at the exhaust pipe. So I don't know why it is, but it seems to be chucking oil at the exhaust pipe, and you'd see it dripping. Now, would mine do that or not is the question. But plan is with this is I'm going to make an alternator that I can detach from the bottom of the trolley when I put it in the shed, and that means I always got a load. If I get a half dead battery, put the engine on it, and it should charge the battery up over the course of the day. Have lights on it so it takes power out of the battery. So that's my question, to keep it a bit low, just keep it taking over, plus driving water pump, maybe the mill on the farm when I need it to, etc. So comments would be great appreciated. Opinions as well, always appreciated. Try and get back to you as soon as I can. So I think that there concludes Lister LD1 restoration, 1955 Lister LD1 restoration, part 11. Yeah, part 11. Yeah, thanks for watching. And also, if anyone is curious, this engine is a 2 horsepower model, 2 horsepower at 1000 RPM. Cornish Lister LD1, never left the county. Well, came down from Dursley or wherever it was made, and come down to Cornwall. So yeah, and that's where she stayed. That's where she's gonna stay, whether she likes it or not. So yeah, as I say, Lister LD1 restoration, part 11. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for part 12, which hopefully will be the third coat and putting back together. That's the plan. So thanks for watching, and good night.